Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Joanna Kleinman, psychotherapist, transformational leadership coach, founder of the Mind Method, CEO of the Mastering Your Mind coaching company, and author of Dethroning Your Inner Critic. And today I want to share one of the most liberating, paradigm shifting truths that you will ever hear. You're not living in actual reality. You're living in your reality, and so is everyone else. Now, this is not philosophy. This is not motivational fluff. This is neuroscience. This is psychology. And this is deeply spiritual. So let's break this open. You don't see the world with your eyes. You actually see it with your brain. So we grow up believing that our eyes show us the world as it actually is. But that's not actually true. Your eyes don't see it. Your eyes absorb light. That raw light gets sent to your brain where it passes through layers of filters. And those filters are created by your memories, your emotions, your belief systems, your fears, your past experiences, and the identity that you consider yourself to be right now. So only after moving through all of those layers, all of that conditioning, does your brain then assemble a picture and present it to you as reality, which means that you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. So your brain is showing you a version of reality that's shaped by your conditioning. Now, this is why you should never take someone else's opinion of you or your life or your potential as the truth, because they're not responding to you. They're responding to their own wiring and their own limits and their own judgments and their own conditioning. So every human being you know is living in a different universe, and so are you. So most people don't understand that they aren't really living their life. They're reliving yesterday. Okay. They're certainly not living their best life because they're reliving their past. And they don't recognize they're really just repeating the same thoughts, the same emotional patterns, the same reactions, the same nervous system running on autopilot, because our brain is designed to keep us safe. It's not designed to keep us fulfilled. And therefore, our brain prefers what's familiar, even when the familiar causes us pain, or it makes us feel stuck, or we say it's not what we want. So there's a psychological concept called prospection, and it means that the brain predicts the future based on past experiences. Now, here's the problem with that. I call that automatic self your inner critic self. And that inner critic self sets realistic goals based on who you've been, not who you are becoming. So if your inner critic is afraid that you're going to fail, or afraid that you're not enough, or afraid that you're not capable, or afraid you'll be disappointed, or afraid you'll be unloved, or abandoned, or judged, it will only allow you to pursue goals that feel safe and familiar and predictable. It actually puts a cap on your potential before you even start. And your life becomes a loop of what your brain already knows. Now, this is why many people unconsciously sabotage everything right before their life is about to change. So, your brain has selective attention. In other words, it only sees what matches your current view of reality. And your brain is going to filter out almost everything other than what aligns with that internal map of reality, right? That's your inner critic's attention lens. Okay. So if your inner critic believes that success needs to be earned and you need to work really hard and you need to hustle and you need to grind and you need to overfunction and sacrifice yourself, that's what your life will become. If your inner critic believes that success has to go slowly, right? You have to stay safe and in control. You might miss opportunities and experiences that would take you to places you could never imagine. If your inner critic expects disappointment or rejection, your brain is going to focus on the disappointment and the rejection and then feed it back to you to show you that your vision is not realistic and it's just too big. Now, when you start holding a bigger vision, and I mean one that feels slightly impossible, and you really start believing that that's the life I'm meant to live, now something powerful happens. Now that attention lens expands. Now you start training your brain to notice possibilities that you literally couldn't see before. So the quality of your vision determines the clarity of your path forward, but your commitment to that vision determines what feels possible. Now, my vision for my life used to be much smaller. And the one thing that I did was I took action towards the things that scared me. I did the things that scared me. And as I kept doing the things that scared me, my goals grew bigger. My identity stretched. That's how my future expanded. I did not get rid of the fear first. I did not have the confidence first. I just took each step towards my vision. And every step I took, my inner critic voice got louder. You don't know enough. You're not good enough for this. This is too big. This will never happen. So if that sounds familiar to you, maybe that's a sign that you're expanding. Now, here's another thing that nobody teaches us about the future. The future isn't real. It's actually just a mental tool, right? The future is not this external reality that's just waiting for us to catch up to it. The future is a mental construct. It's a tool your brain uses to guide your choices right now. Because the only thing that really exists is this moment. So the question that our mind is always asking is, will the future work out? But that's not the real question. The real question is, who am I choosing to be right now? Because the identity that you choose in this moment determines what your brain notices. It determines what options you see. It determines what decisions you make now. And the decisions you make now shape the direction that your life unfolds. So I have to have daily conversations with my inner critic, okay? The vision I'm holding right now is the biggest vision I've ever had. And that is, I'm training 100 coaches in a year in the mind method. And I am taking the mind method, partnering with an organization called Clue Canada. I'm taking the mind method to parts of Southeast Asia that would never have access to this kind of thinking. And my inner critic, Waring Wilhelmina is her name, She's terrified of this vision. So every morning I sit with her and I tell Wilhelmina, I know you're trying to protect me. I know you're scared because where we're going feels very uncertain and very big, but I need you to know I've got us. This is the life we want. We're going after something incredibly meaningful and powerful. And I know that you want to keep us safe and comfortable. But the familiar is not our future. This is new territory, and it's going to be better than anything we can imagine. So when fear comes up, I will regulate our nervous system. When doubt comes up, I will remind us that's just old programming. Every time you want to step backwards and pull me back into those automatic thoughts and beliefs, we are stepping into our future self. Now, Wilhelmina is coming with me because I can't get rid of her, but she's riding in the back seat because my authentic self is driving the bus now. And it's scary, but we've got this. So here's what I want you to take with you today. You are not a victim of your reality. You are a creator of it. What you see is what you're wired to see, and you can rewire it. Your vision can expand, your identity can evolve, your entire experience of life can change. You are not stuck. You're just living inside a lens that your past built, and that lens can be transformed. Thank you for tuning in today. I'll see you on the next episode.